Today?
Hi, pleasure to meet you, Jessica.
Yes. Just to let everyone know, my name is Jessica Cornelius. I am a franchise development director and super excited to have Michelle here to share some of her experience and knowledge being a right at home owner with all of you. So, Michelle, just to start out, would you mind just sharing your name, your location, what year you became a right at home franchisee, as well as the number of territories you own?
Sure. I'm Dr. Michelle Rankin. I have been in business since September 2013, and I own the Lewisville, Texas, right at home, and I have a total of three territories.
Fantastic. And can you tell us just a little bit about your background before becoming a right at home franchise owner?
Yeah, sure. Prior to right at home, I was actually in the process of completing my Ph.D. and I was working for the United States Olympic Committee as a high performance director.
Fantastic. And then what really, impacted your decision to become a right at home franchise owner?
For me, it was life's event that happened. My brother was paralyzed in a car accident and he was needing home care around the clock. I had no clue about home care. I didn't know anything about it. And at that time, the social worker at the hospital had recommended home care. With meeting with that owner, we became good friends. And the accident happened out of state. I happened to take a Southwest flight and saw the right at home advertisement and just kind of started researching from there.
Okay. Well, I'm so sorry to hear about your brother. That had to have been such a devastating, experience for you and your family. And I think, like you had just mentioned, so many of us, we don't even know until something happens with a loved one that
Mhm.
something like this, and I
Yes.
think when we have that awareness, it's, we start to see that need, like this is so needed.
Hmm.
And it really gives us that component from our heart because of the
Hmm.
fact that, we've seen somebody we care about go through something and how can we help other families. So thank you so much. You've been with Right at Home for a number of years. You have three total territories. So walk me through, if there is a typical day, what does that look like?
Oh, a typical day now versus 9 years ago is very different.
Yes,
It was a lot
absolutely.
more hours. It was 7 days a week. Now I have a great team in place. We really focus on just offering a great workplace for our caregivers so they can offer great care for our clients. Um, but one of the main things that I feel with right at home and um, like doing it over the past couple years is that we have such a good family in house with our staff that I delegate a lot of things. However, I would call myself like the chief cheerleader. So I
Mhm.
walk around and kind of keep everyone on the team uber motivated. And then I kind of do most of the C suite marketing and contracts. But we work together with the team. We have a team of four in the office. And our office staff specifically, we like to always try and have our think box and our vision boards. And so I kind of work on those like think tank options for us.
Fantastic. And I know, doing it for 9 years, you said it looks completely different now than what it did 9 years ago. So,
Yeah.
just for somebody who's coming through this process, very first, time through the process, home care, really, they want to have a business and make a good income, but at the same time, they want to have something where they have that sense of purpose. So when you
Hmm.
first started, only having the experience with your brother being paralyzed and navigating that journey, then becoming a right at home franchise owner, what did your day look like when you were a brand new owner? Because I know you said 7 days a week, so you were doing quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, it was very different. I think one of the main things that I forgot to mention is that I bought a resale. So
Okay.
when I purchased the resale, it was really fast-paced learning and just a learning curve in regards to compliance and learning all new clients rapidly versus at a slow pace. But I would say your first year is really just trying to figure out how you want to run your business.
Mhm.
And I think also figuring out that how you run versus your neighbors or your mentors and those you meet could be a little different. And your market is very different than any other territory. So, kind of doing your own research and spending the time and connecting with the community is where you're really going to find how you want to tailor your niche and how you want to emphasize your strengths. Because I think for myself, I really thought I was operations and I wanted to
Mhm.
be inside. But I really, after working with the franchisor and having some coaching for marketing, I really felt like, oh, this is different, and I kind of like it, and I kind of like going out and meeting new people and kind of telling them my own story and how I can help their own families. So for that, my day definitely changed once I was able to fix my niche.
Mhm.
So what I really excelled at. So for myself, I would say Monday through Friday, I would be in the office from roughly around 9 to around 10:30. And then I would go out and market and then come back around 3 and huddle up with the team for end of day meetings.
Okay. Now, did you have any marketing or sales background prior to joining the Right at Home system?
No, ma'am, I was just a researcher.
Okay, okay. Because a lot of times, and I think that's really the value of a franchise system is that, you can get help in those areas. And I
Yes.
remember when I had a conversation with you and I got off the phone and I was like, she just sounds like an awesome person. Like I felt happy getting off the phone with you. And that was just, your enthusiasm and the way you came through. So I think a lot of times, we can find those skill sets and those areas that we really excel in and things that we didn't even know, were skill sets for us. And you can tell when you talk to somebody who loves what they do, because that was definitely the vibe I got from talking to you. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that makes you, such a good cheerleader and mentor and, somebody who really pumps up your entire team. So what part, at the beginning, it's that huge learning curve. It sounds like you really went in there and, put in that work and, used your motivation to learn all you could. But tell me about, with all of the Right at Home support that you've received over the last 5 years, what part of that do you feel like was the most valuable for you?
The most valuable for sure. I will say even from the start with training, um, that was a key decision maker for me in choosing Right at Home. When I did my research, many other home care franchises were a couple days, while Right at Home was a week. And I
Mhm.
felt that that made the foundation for me with the family of other Right at Home owners that were starting at the same time as me. So
Mhm.
not only did my coach at that time and the coach that I have now, um, they are a phone call away anytime I need them. So I would say just the family itself, the Right at Home franchisor and your other franchisees, that hands down is the best support because everyone's always willing to help. And that
Mhm.
was a key factor in me making the decision with Right at Home early because I felt like everyone was real and they were going to give me real answers. And so for me, it's not a matter of just giving me an answer. It's like, teach me how to do it too. And then also give me some options. Like they're not going to say, Michelle, do this, but they're going to say, hey, these are your options and A, B, or C. And you kind of are able to make your own decisions. So I really appreciate that from the franchisor and as well the franchisees that we've built lifelong friendships.
Absolutely. And then having all those, franchise owners around you and that extra support. How do you feel like, that has impacted you, positively compared to if you were just to go out and start your own business and try to kind of navigate that journey yourself?
Oh, I would be upside down. Clear. I would be upside down because you need someone that knows your struggle every day to understand what you're going through. I could talk to my parents, I could talk to family, all the time. And they're like, well, it sounds foreign. It sounds like I'm speaking a different language. But if I'm speaking to my other right at home owners, we're able to give each other critical feedback. We're able to brainstorm together. We're able to cry together. We're able to just congratulate each other on wins. So for that, I wouldn't change that journey. That journey has been the most rewarding, and you really value those relationships going forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm sure the pandemic was probably, an area where everybody was like, we don't know what's going to happen, and
Yeah.
having whole bit of support. I think, just knowing other people are in your same shoes, going through that struggle together, figuring out together, it's almost, I know even at the corporate office, I want to work hard and keep working harder because I have this amazing team around me of such talented individuals. And it's like, we're all in this together and we all want each other to succeed. So thinking about, you being, when you were going through the process of purchasing that resale, what's one piece of advice that you wish you would have known, or if you could go back and talk to yourself 9 years ago, what do you think is one piece of advice that would have really helped support you in making a decision?
I think the key advice I would have given myself, knowing what I know now, is just be patient. I think throughout the process of starting a business and an entrepreneur, you're kind of wanting everything to just work. And so I think be patient and be okay with that. There's going to be some days where it just doesn't work out, but just accept that every day there was a purpose and there was a win. And so for everyone that we help, we just kind of always kind of keep that motto that some days won't be great, but every day is a positive and there's a win with every person we're helping. And just keep your head up. I think that's the biggest thing. I think I was afraid of the failure, and afraid of what could happen. Like, oh my God, if I make a mistake. And I think that hindered my success earlier because I was thinking negative. And so to my younger self 9 years ago, I wish I would just say, just keep going and don't be afraid.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. I know, personally, it's nobody wants to go through challenges or struggles, but, when
Mhm.
you can be that type of person where you can learn from those things, it helps you grow so much as an individual, because like if you have a cake, you're not going to be able to shove it all in your mouth at one time. It's one bite at a time. And it's
One bite
kind of
at
like
a
this lot to learn, and it's just, how
time.
can we, go forward? So thinking back, making this decision 9 years ago, if you were to have this decision, over again today, is this
Mhm.
something that you would do again? And what do you feel like how do you feel like it's changed your life?
Oh, hands down, I would make it again. I think for myself, what I realized is I love being a resource. And over and over again, whether it's an aunt, my own stepdad, my own dad, everyone in your family is going to have this need. And for myself, my family, the people that work with us, and the training that we've gotten over the years, I just feel that we have so much knowledge base now to just help other people, whether they're with Right at Home or not. Um,
Sure.
I enjoy that piece beyond anything more. And just being that resource in the community.
Absolutely. Well, Michelle, it has been such a pleasure to connect face to face with you. I'm ready to
Yeah,
get out to
it's
the
so good to meet you.
Texas and meet you face to or in person. But I am so proud to be a part of an organization that great people like you are a part of. Every single owner I've met, I've talked to, I mean, that's really that common denominator that I found is everybody says, this is such a great organization. This has changed my life. It's a lot of work, but I would do it again. And I have a special place in my heart for people like you, because I know that you really are creating a ripple effect in your communities,
Yes.
where you are changing lives every single day. And I'm so proud to be a part of an organization and to have you in my network.
No, we're thankful to have you
Yes. Well,
spreading the
thank
good
you.
news.
Yes, thank you so much. And yeah, it was so great to talk to you, and I'll look forward to connecting soon.
All right, sounds good.